This planner has been really helpful because it gives me something to look forward to doing every day. After I complete my goal of 10 push ups and 10 squats, I will jot it down in my calendar, and it sort of is a way to hold me accountable. Um, so every day I'll pull out the calendar and I'll add in my 10 push ups and my 10 squats. Another thing I did was I started to add in whenever I add money to my savings account. So my main objective is to save money. This is the year of uh, finance, but I'm starting early. Like I said, I started November 2023, and I've been doing it up until the point of now, which is December the 4th, 2023. And I just want to continue to do, or December 4th, 2023. So I started now um, in November on my first payday, which was November 15th. I added in $1,000 because I could afford to do it. And I knew that by putting that in my savings account and by considering what I had left, I knew I could get through uh, the month until my next payday without touching that money. And another thing I do every day is if I'm successful and I don't touch any of my savings, I will write didn't T, just because I couldn't fit in didn't touch on my calendar. I had to find a way to abbreviate it. So every day that I don't touch anything from my savings account, I'll put didn't T. So again, 10 push-ups, 10 squats, didn't T if I didn't touch any of my savings. And I actually was successful. I didn't touch the $1,000 at all. And I made it to my second payday, which is the 30th. So with my current employer, I get paid every 15th and then also on the last day of every month. So if the 15th actually falls on a weekend day, then I would get paid the Friday prior to the 15th. That's the same case if the last day of the month falls on the weekend, I get paid the Friday before that day. So this month, or November 2023, I got paid on the 15th and the 30th because those days actually fell within the weekday, the weekdays and not the weekend. So on the 30th, I still had $1,000 in my savings account. And on the 30th, since I got paid again, I knew that I wanted to add more money on my savings account, because the goal for me is to beef up my savings account so that I'll have enough money in case of an emergency. And all the financial experts I've listened to say that you should aim to have 3 to 6 months of savings in your savings account, just to to serve as an emergency for if you were to lose your job or if you couldn't work. So on the 30th, considering all my finances, I determined that I could put $222 in my savings account. And the reason why I went with that number is, one, because it's supposedly a good number. It means um, it's an angel number, I believe. And secondly, it was around 10% of my check. And people always say that, or at least financial gurus that I listen to say that you should aim to save you should aim to pay yourself first before you pay any bills or you do any other kinds of allocations with your money. And so my goal was to just pay myself immediately. And I went with 10% because 10% is a significant number um, in the biblical sense. The churches I attend always say that you should give 10% to God. And so right now, I don't really feel comfortable in giving 10% to any specific church, but I think I'm just gonna save that 10% and put it in my savings account and use that to go towards my long-term goals, and which is to be financially free And once I am financially free, I'll be able to give back even more. So right now, I'm just paying myself first. I'm using the 10% because I think in actuality, it's going to the greater good. Like the more I'm able to help myself, and the more I have, the more I can give. And so that's the investment that I'm choosing to make. So $222 is about 10% of my take-home pay, and I put that aside in my savings account. And so now, shortly after I did that, the engine light in my car came on, and that's a whole nother story. I regret buying a car because another thing that financial gurus say is to not finance a car. The smart thing is to get like a cash car. That way you don't have to worry about monthly payments. The one way, they say that you can become financially free and independent of a job, independent of a 9 to 5, is by getting rid of all your debt. So I wasn't really thinking about that at the time. Before I got the car, I was thinking I need to get something to work on my credit and to boost my credit score. And I thought the best way to do that was to get a car and finance it and have those payments show up on my within show up on my credit. And I really regret that. I strongly urge you to not finance a car because I've noticed a change in my lifestyle. Now that I have to pay $540 towards a car payment, that is $540 less that I can use every month to go towards my goal of becoming financially free. And prior to that, my car payment was actually much more than that. I may talk about that in another video. It was around almost $740. So I'm so happy I was able to refinance it actually and get into a better interest rate. So shortly after putting $222 into my savings account, my engine light on my car popped up. And I've learned that what you need to do when that happens is you need to take it and get it fixed ASAP. Because the longer you allow your car to have service lights on, the longer you allow your car to be in that condition while you're using it, the worse it can get. So I've learned to take action immediately. As soon as you notice something is wrong with your vehicle or any mechanical device that you are using, the idea is to get it fixed ASAP. That way it doesn't get worse. So I took it to the mechanic and they found what the issue was. And fortunately, it was only like $260 something. So I ended up taking $200 out of my savings to cover that. And I was kind of beating myself up over it because I was like, I'm trying to become financially free, and it seems like everything happens to, prevent me from reaching my goal. But in the actuality, it's actually a good thing that I had my savings because that's what the savings are for. The savings are for if there's an emergency, So that's the point of having it. So I kind of got over that. And I was like, okay, well, this is what the money is for. I'm glad I have the money and I got it fixed. So that brought my savings back down to about $1,000. And, I'm proud that it didn't, for some reason, I like that it's not under 1,000. The fact that it's 1,000 plus, not much more, but the fact that I didn't break that $1,000, I didn't go under that $1,000 is actually makes me feel, or it makes me feel, happy. So, yeah, so what I want to do in this channel now, and I'm going to try to push myself to upload more consistently, especially doing Vlogmas. I want to, post and keep you guys updated. And like I said, my new goal this year, or starting now and throughout next year, is become financially independent of my job and work on my health. And so, yeah, I am going to give you more updates as frequently as I can. So I'll talk to you later.